Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the 2006 Xbox Live Arcade game Galaga. Originally released in arcades by Namco and Midway in 1981, Galaga has been released on a range of home consoles from the Atari 7800 to the iPhone. It can also be found on various Namco Museum compilations. I'm playing this on the Namco Museum Virtual Arcade compilation, which adds several games to your Xbox Live Arcade library. So, chances are there's a version of Galaga on at least one of the systems you own. Galaga is actually a sequel to Galaxian, a shoot 'em up released 2 years earlier. Like its predecessor, Galaga borrows heavily from the classic arcade title Space Invaders, whilst introducing a number of innovations that distinguish it from complete clones. In Galaga, you control a spaceship and must defeat wave after wave of insect-like enemies. Galaga is a fixed shooter, so you can only move left or right rather than vertically. If your ship collides with an enemy or is hit by enemy fire, it will be destroyed, so you must be careful to dodge threats quickly. At your disposal, you have a seemingly unlimited stock of missiles, which you must fire at enemy fighters. Enemies fly onto the screen from various directions, and once the entire wave of enemies has been defeated, you move on to the next stage. As you would expect, the difficulty level gradually ramps up as you progress, with enemy attack patterns becoming faster and more complex. This ensures the game remains challenging throughout, and Galaga has the classic arcade quality of being easy to pick up but hard to master. As well as firing bombs, certain enemies, known as boss Galagers, utilize tractor beams. If your ship comes into contact with the beam, your fighter will be captured, and you must rescue it by destroying the boss Galaga in flight. If successful, the two fighters will combine to form a dual fighter, which means you can fire two missiles simultaneously. This obviously makes it easier to attack enemies, and dual fighters are particularly useful during challenging stages. The object of Galaga is to survive as long as possible whilst racking up a high score. As you can see, my high score is just under the 80,000 mark, but the world record, using tournament settings, is some 4.5 million. A nice feature in this version of Galaga is the ability to start from any of the stages you've reached, so if you want to dive in at a harder level, you can start at a later stage. So at heart, Galaga is a fairly straightforward shooter, with some innovative features that establish its originality. There are no complex weapon combinations or epic boss fights, but simplicity isn't always a bad thing, and I think Galaga's simple gameplay works really well. Galaga is challenging without being sadistically hard, and casual gamers and hardcore gamers alike should all have a lot of fun with this game. The graphics for Galaga are colourful and attractive. I really like the enemy designs, and the explosions look pretty good too. Whilst the visuals aren't breathtaking by today's standards, they still hold up well. I believe the graphics for the Xbox Live Arcade 4 are arcade perfect. I didn't notice any slowdown. As the original arcade cabinet was upright, the gameplay doesn't fill the entire television, so you get some cool arcade artwork in the background. You can also resize and move the picture in the options. Galaga has very little background music, though the short tunes that play are somewhat memorable. I particularly like the music that plays at the start, and I think it's definitely a case of quality over quantity. The sound effects are also great and fit the action perfectly. The explosions won't blow you away, but they do their job and sound pretty cool. Overall, Galaga's sound design is very good, particularly for a game of its age. The controls for this game are simple and intuitive. All you do is move from side to side and fire missiles, so there's very little that could go wrong, but nevertheless, Galaga controls accurately. Whenever my ship is destroyed, I always know it's my fault, rather than being down to sloppy controls, because the game handles rapid direction changes smoothly. The control setup I use works as follows. I use the analog stick to move the ship, and the right trigger to use the rapid fire blasters. The control scheme is customizable using the options menu, so you can set it up however suits you best. Galaga has great lasting appeal. It's the kind of game that makes you want to keep coming back for more, to try and beat your high score and improve your technique. If you're the kind of guy that gets addicted to things easily, you might want to be careful when playing this game, as it can get extremely addictive. As with many games of this style, Galaga has online leaderboards where you can compare your high score with other players and friends. It also features a number of achievement points, amounting to 200 gamer scoring table, so this sport puts an added emphasis on online gaming. Overall, I would give Galaga 10 out of 10. I can honestly think of nothing bad to say about this game, and this Xbox Live Arcade port is a great conversion of a great arcade game. With awesome gameplay, controls, graphics, and sound, I'd highly recommend this game to anyone who likes shmups. If you enjoy games like Space Invaders, Galaga should be right up your street, and in my opinion, it's superior to the former game. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll put up another video soon. Bye.